March Madness is underway, and the Texas Tech men's basketball team has a 1 in 16 chance at a national championship. Coming up, MCTV's Ryan Heller will be in with the latest details on the Red Raiders' run in the NCAA tournament.
Groups from all over campus are celebrating the many differences that make Texas Tech such a unique place this week. We'll have all the details on the 2018 edition of Diversity Week next.
And the votes have been counted, and the TTU student body has a new president. Find out who will take over as the head of the SGA for the next school year.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Corey May.
And I'm Darius Edwards. During spring break, Texas Tech fans had the opportunity to head to Dallas and cheer the Red Raider basketball team on to victory.
That's right, Darius. And now the team is hoping to make history as they head into the NCAA Sweet 16 in Boston. MCTV's Ryan Heller joins us in the studio with all the details. Ryan?
Thanks, Corey and Darius. Texas Tech men's basketball arrived in Boston yesterday and started preparing for their Friday night matchup in the next game of the tournament. The Red Raiders will take on the Purdue Boilermakers at TD Garden starting at 8:57 p.m. The Boilermakers come in as the second seed in the East region, setting up a 2 versus 3 matchup with Texas Tech. If Texas Tech can pull off the win, it would be the first time in school history for the Red Raiders to make the Elite Eight. If Tech does make it to Sunday's game, they will play the winner of West Virginia versus Villanova, who also play tomorrow night. You can catch both games on TBS. I'll have more details on tomorrow's game along with a look around Tech athletics later in sports. Back to you, Darius.
Thanks, Ryan. In other news, it's been a busy week here on Tech campus. Students returned back from spring break on Monday, and since then, they've had a chance to participate in more than 30 events that celebrate the many people and cultures that make up the Tech community. MCTV's Katie Main has more on this annual set of events.
Guys, I'm here at the Sub on day 4 of Diversity Week. Most of the events have taken place here throughout the week, and we actually have one event taking place right now inside. It's called Tie Diversity, and Rise is hosting it, and you can come show your creativity and diversity by customizing your own t-shirt. SAB and other campus organizations have hosted various events throughout the week, really just designed to showcase the uniqueness of students here at Texas Tech. Diversity Week began on Monday with a kickoff in the Sub courtyard. From 12 to 1:30, the Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion gave away free food and t-shirts and gave students an opportunity to meet representatives from various multicultural student organizations on campus. Students were encouraged to network and engage in conversation as Diversity Week began. On Tuesday, a diversity fair was held in the Sub Red Raider Ballroom. From 2 to 4, more than 30 student organizations and on-campus departments set up a booth, giving students an opportunity to learn about what ways they can get involved with diversity and inclusion initiatives across campus. Represented at this event were various language clubs, research organizations, and local religious ministries. On Wednesday, the Hispanic Student Society hosted a fajita cookout at the Free Speech Gazebo. The Hispanic Student Society hosts their fajita cookout from time to time, charging $3 for a fajita, $5 for a combo, and just $1 for a drink. The Hispanic Student Society is just one of many multicultural organizations on campus. Also on Wednesday, SAB hosted Beat Who You Are from 12 to 2 in the Sub courtyard. This event allowed students to show what represents them most by adding different colored beads to a keychain. Students could choose from beads that represented their race, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, and more. And throughout the week, students passing through the Sub could stop by the Unity Post-it wall, located across from Barnes & Noble. On the wall, students could place a note with words on it describing what makes them unique. At the end of the week, the board will be turned into an art piece that showcases the diversity across campus. Now, tomorrow is the last day of Diversity Week, but that doesn't mean it's too late. There are a few remaining events, including henna art, cricket tournament, and an LGBTQIA Big 12 Summit. For more information, you can head to sab.ttu.edu and just search for diversity. As for now, at the Sub, I'm Katie Main, MCTV News. Back to you guys.
The Student Government Association recently held their annual spring elections during the week before spring break. On Tuesday, March 6th and Wednesday, March 7th, members of the student body were able to go online and cast their vote for the executive candidates and the senators for the next school year. On the executive side, the race for the SGA president was the only position with 2 candidates on the ballot. In that race, Sean Lewis beat out Bahir Jinadu to become the next student body president. Lewis joins Jude Almood Amber Ackley, and John Getz as the new leadership of FGA. All 4 candidates are part of the Tech United bloc. Almood will serve as the new external vice president. Ackley was elected as the internal vice president, and Getz will fill the role of the graduate vice president. All 3 candidates ran unopposed in this year's election. The spring election also includes Senate race for Tech's 10 colleges, along with the law school and graduate school. You can find more information on those races and winners by visiting the SGA's website at sga.ttu.edu. Students who stayed around the Lubbock area over spring break were in for a windy week. After Tuesday, wind gusts stayed above 30 miles per hour, and on Sunday night, the South Plains experienced winds highs at 60 miles per hour.
That's true, Corey. Luckily, it hasn't been near as windy this week, but that doesn't mean we might not set a record-breaking conditions before the weekend. Let's take a look at the MCTV forecast. It's looking like a nice spring day on the MCTV Towercast this afternoon. Skies have been mostly sunny today, and temperatures have been climbing since sunrise. Late this afternoon, temperatures should reach the high 80s, and there's a slight chance we could break the record today. The current record is 87 degrees, set back in 2016. After sunset, we'll continue to see a few clouds in the sky, and temperatures will drop into the mid-50s. Winds will increase after midnight, but conditions should stay calm this evening. Tomorrow, we'll start off the day with more clouds and breezy winds, but by the mid-afternoon, those winds will increase to gusts as high as 40 miles per hour. Temperatures will also rise during the afternoon, with highs expected to reach above 90 degrees. If we do reach 90 degrees, it will also break the record for high temperatures for the day. Friday night, the wind conditions will stick around until midnight, and lows will fall just above 50 degrees. Heading into the weekend, Saturday should be a very nice spring day with partly cloudy skies and light winds. Afternoon highs will climb back into the mid-80s, making for a great day to get outside and enjoy the weather. After sunset, clouds will move into the area, creating overcast conditions throughout the night. Saturday lows will drop just below 60 degrees, making for a very mild evening. On Sunday, we'll start off with a lot of clouds and return of windy conditions. The winds will move the clouds in and out of the area during the day, and temperatures will again reach the mid-80s. Overnight, the winds will decrease, and temperatures will stay in the upper 50s. On Monday, the last week of March, we'll start off with a lot of clouds and more wind. We'll see overcast conditions throughout the day, and the highs will climb to around 80 degrees. After sunset, the clouds will stay in the area, and temperatures will fall into the low 50s. Winds will decrease around midnight, but we'll continue to have breezy conditions until the morning. On Tuesday, we'll continue to see overcast conditions to start out the day before clouds begin to clear in the afternoon. Temperatures will slightly be cooler on Tuesday with high forecasts in the mid-70s. Around sunset, the clouds will increase again, and we could possibly see some rain showers in the area overnight. The rains will also drop temperatures into the low 40s for the night. On Wednesday, we will continue to see a chance of showers until mid-morning. Overcast conditions will continue throughout the day, and temperatures will be much cooler, with temperatures only expected to reach 60 degrees. Overnight, the clouds will slowly begin to clear, and temperatures will fall into the upper 30s. Look ahead, rain chances will stay in the forecast through Thursday before a warming trend returns for the weekend.
As we mentioned earlier, Diversity Week is keeping things busy around campus. But those aren't the only events students can enjoy. MCTV's Katie Main has the details on a performance tomorrow night that will give the audience a different take on history.
Hi there, I'm here with Jo Moore. Once again, she's the director of the Presidential Lecture and Performance Series. And today she's going to tell us a little bit about the next event. It's called The Other Mozart. So tell us a little bit about it.
You bet. Hi, Katie. The Other Mozart is going to take place this Friday, so March 23rd at 7 o'clock at the Allen Theater. And what most people don't know is that Mozart had an incredibly talented sister, and her nickname was Nannerl. And when she was a young girl, she traveled with Mozart. Her father took them all through Europe, and there were articles written about her where she was the top biller. You know, that's the thing that's amazing. She's the one that had the top billing of the two, and that she was a virtuoso at the harpsichord. So for Women's History Month, it seemed appropriate to bring a play in. It's a one-woman show She actually, it's a woman named Sylvia Milo who created this and had read about, actually she'd seen a photograph at a museum, or a painting at a museum, and it showed Mozart sitting next to this young girl. And no one knew that he had a sister. And what you find out is some of the music, potentially, that was attributed to Mozart could have been her compositions, because she was a brilliant composer, but it was all lost to history. So the play talks about that a little bit. When she was 18, they took her off of the tour because as a woman at that time period, at 18 you were of marriageable age. And if you had a job that you got paid to do, then your chances of getting married were going to be lessened, believe it or not. And so she had to stay home and not pursue her music. And so part of the play talks about how her passion for music and composing, really kind of, it was very poignant, led her into a depression of sorts because she wasn't fulfilled in her life. She did get married, as she was supposed to do, but as her mother said, music will always be your adornment. Well, she was brilliant. So this is all taken from family letters, which makes it even more interesting. So letters between Mozart and her father and mother and herself.
Okay. Wow, that's so interesting.
It
I had
is.
no idea.
Nobody has any idea. And I saw the play in New York a couple of years ago, and I thought it would be so fitting. And it's just beautiful. So it talks about ornamentation. It talks about women's roles during that time period, and what happens when you squelch your passion, you know? And the fact that the sound score, it's been nominated for lots of awards, and not the score per se, but the sound design of it, because we don't really know what her music sounded like because it was lost. It might have the sound of fans and teacups and clavichords and harpsichords, and it's just a marvelous one-woman show, and it'll be at the Allen Theater this Friday.
That's wonderful. That sounds really sweet, and definitely timing is good for that.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It's a timeless issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How can students come see this? What are the details on how they can come?
The details are in front of the Allen Theater is the Student Union building. Used to be a ticket booth, but it's now sort of the East Info Desk. They do have tickets there. So all students need to do is bring a valid ID, go to the info desk, and ask them for a ticket, and it's one free ticket.
Wonderful.
Which is terrific. And then for faculty or staff that may be watching your program, they're $18, and you can get your tickets at Select a Seat.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Hopefully I'll be able to stop by and see it.
Oh, I hope so, Katie. I think you'd enjoy it.
Yes, I think so too. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
As Katie and Joe mentioned, the next edition of the Presidential Performance and the Lecture Series is scheduled for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the Allen Theater. For more information on tomorrow's event, visit presidentialseries.ttu.edu.
If you can't make Friday night's performance, Tech Athletics also has some options to fill your calendar.
MCTV's Ryan Heller joins us again with a look at what's happening in sports. Ryan?
Thanks, Darius and Corey. Texas Tech track is coming fresh off a great performance in the UTSA Invitational. The men's team finished with 131 total points, helping them place third in the competition. The women's team finished with 150 overall points, helping them finish in second. In total, Tech had 19 athletes finish top 3 in their competitions. They continue their season this weekend as they head to Abilene for the ACU Invitational. It will be going on all day Saturday. In softball news, Texas Tech came out of the Highlander Invitational 4-1, beating UC Riverside, Purdue, and sweeping Idaho State, their only loss coming against Purdue. This weekend, they will head out to Norman to take on Oklahoma. They play at 6:30 tomorrow, 1 on Saturday, and at 2 on Sunday. Now, Texas Tech baseball did hit a little rough patch over spring break, struggling against Kentucky, Louisville, and Baylor. Fortunately, the season is far from over. They are ranked number 9 in the ESPN polls and number 10 on the NCAA polls. The squad returns to non-conference play as they are set to face Northeastern this weekend. First pitch is set for 6:30 tomorrow, noon for Game 1 and 4 for Game 2 on Saturday and at 12:30 on Sunday. The games will be played here at Rip Griffin Park. Now, during the spring break, if you thought you had a winning bracket for March Madness, you probably didn't expect the chaos to happen this week. It was pretty crazy. North Carolina and Michigan State lost early. Xavier and Arizona lost early. Also, don't forget that UMBC made history when they defeated Virginia 74-54 in the first round. They became the first 16 seed to ever beat a 1 seed. However, so far there's some good March Madness news here in Lubbock. Texas Tech basketball is set to make school history tomorrow night as they try to make their first trip to the Elite Eight. Last week, they defeated Stephen F. Austin in the first round, 70-60. They then went on to beat Florida 69-66 in the second round to get to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2005. Tomorrow, they will take on the Purdue Boilermakers. As previously stated, if Tech is able to win, they will make their first ever trip to the Elite Eight. The game tips off at 8:57 and will be played on TBS. So do whatever you can to help cheer them on so they can keep making history. In NBA news, the Houston Rockets defeated the Portland Trail Blazers 115-111 on Tuesday. James Harden continued his MVP season with 42 points and 7 assists. Chris Paul had 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. They will start a 5-game homestand tonight as they face the Detroit Pistons. Tip-off will be at 7. That's all for sports. Back to you, Corey and Darius.
Thanks, Ryan. So do you think Tech will win and make it to the Elite Eight, Darius?
Yes, sir. I can't wait to see it.
That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check us out, ttuhub.net, every day for more news. We'll see you next week.
Guns up.